I would have memorized this, but I'm not an actor. Not even, and I'm not Charlie. Charlie would have needed 10 minutes with this. I promise you it's short. It's 1.5 space and a page and a half, so it's not going to go on too long. But man, Charlie would have loved this. Actually, scratch that. He loves this because I believe in my whole heart that he's here with us. So baby, I hope I do you proud. This isn't how I envision Valentine's Day. We definitely weren't going to go all grand. We just want that couple. We'd probably be home, either his house or mine. He'd make one of his elite sandwiches. Has anyone here had one of Charlie's sandwiches? My goodness, I think he put crack in those things. Anyone who's ever tasted his sandwiches can attest to this. Then he'd make me an incredibly strong cocktail, to marinate me. And then I'd probably force him to watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yes, I did that to him, which he'd grumble about, but become weirdly invested in by the end. He knew all those women by the time I was done with him. But instead of that, I'm standing up here honoring this man, and it still doesn't feel real. You see, Charlie was a true artist. He appreciated every form of art, whether it was highbrow, esoteric film, or trashy reality TV, and everything in between. He was not a snob, not by any stretch of the imagination. He looked at art with a sort of childlike wonder, an opportunity to learn. Thanks to him, I gained a deeper appreciation of the creative arts. Watching every film became an education for me. He'd point out the storyline, the quality of the writing, plot holes, the difference between average directing and the work of a true visionary, and above all, great acting, because that was what Charlie was, a great actor. And even sometimes I'm like, hey babes, just watch the movie. Like, not everything has to be a class. But that's what Charlie was. He was a visionary. The way he saw the world was just beautiful to witness. And he never wanted to gatekeep his knowledge. Charlie was a vessel that constantly poured into others. He gave of his time and expertise so selflessly. There are times I'd overhear him on the phone, sometimes promising to do some work for someone. And at the end of that phone call, I'd be like, wait, I hope they're paying you. And more often than not, he'd not even gotten to that point of the conversation. He'd just volunteer anyway. Now, the first time I ever saw Charlie on stage was several years ago while he was still at St. Mary's. I just finished high school, and my goodness, I thought he was so fine. Wow! With that smile of his that lit up the stage. If anyone told me that 20 plus years later, this luminous, effervescent man would ask me to marry him, I would have laughed you out of the room. You see, this love story of ours took me by surprise. When Charlie and I reconnected after I came back from New York, I wasn't really looking. I just lost my dad the year before and was still trying to navigate the enormity of that loss. So he and I began a friendship that later had some benefits. Si tulisema tunasema ukweli. But, after a while, it was clear that there was something between us that was completely undeniable. So I fought it. Then when I accepted it, now it was his turn to fight it. But there was this almost cosmic pull between us. Let me tell you guys, I'm almost 42 years old and I have never been loved like that. It wasn't about the grand gestures. It was about the comfort, the easy intimacy, that wonderfully silly friendship between us. Let me not lie to you, we've gossiped about most of you people in this room. We have gossiped you. And then there was the absolute safety. Charlie saw me, and I mean he truly saw me. It was such a big, beautiful love. The night he asked me to marry him, we were on his couch and was wearing torn leggings and one of his t-shirts. And he got down on one knee and I cried, and to date, that is the most beautiful night of my life. There's so many people here that Charlie thought so highly of. I'll start with his lifelong best friend, his sister Liz, who he called Lizard. Liz, he loved you so much, and he used to say, Liz is the best of all of us. And he meant every word. Then there's Christian. I don't know if Christian is here. well, he's not here, he's back at home. And he was the best man at Christian's wedding. Then there was his frequent collaborator, business partner and friend, Nice Kideji. Give it up for Nice. There was Nyokabi Masharia. There's Silas freaking Miami. Like, stop hiding, we see you. And then, of course, there's Konsura, who was his creative muse, who's watching right now in Bali. Daniel Napolitano, he talked about you guys all the time. You've had John Carbone's comment being read. That was a really good friend of Charlie's. He'd call him Bones. He thought so highly of you. It was to start naming names. We'd be here all night. That's how big this man's heart was. The outpouring of love and support since Charlie's transition has been awe-inspiring. To everyone who has called, texted, checked on us, sat with us, and contributed their time, their money, their expertise, there are no words. Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, my love, I speak to you. Thank you for showing me what true love really was. Thank you for being the perfect example of a gentleman and a real man. Thank you for being the kindest man I have ever known. Thank you for taking care of me. It is a privilege and honor of my life to have loved and be loved by you. Charlie, I will miss you until I join you. Thank you.
And now, for everybody in the house now, for everybody watching, in honor of Charlie J. Ouda. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. As the tributes continue to flow, we want to hear from someone who represents the wide circle of friends that Charlie had. A lot of them were involved in the industry. You've heard her name already. It's all the way over there. We're going to clap her in as she comes through. Please put your hands together for frequent collaborator and co-founder of the Talent Studio, along with Charles J. Ouda. It's nice, Idinji. Yeah, keep it going for her.